and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July summer sale and get 35% off paints and stains from July 26th through August 5th. With prices starting at $31.84, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps in Arizona looks like more than 27,000 members, 29 million hours served, nearly 75 million in scholarships, millions of lives changed. When you sign up for AmeriCorps in Arizona, you make a difference. Also, earn a living stipend, plus education scholarships. Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. That's serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk and 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next-generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve, 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He's doing what he's doing. You're doing what you're doing. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Why don't you just step back? Why don't you just take a moment? Why don't you just, don't be starting something. As Michael Jackson said, well, he said two things. You better not be starting something. And can your kids spend the night? Those are the two things. Oh, my God. Anyway, Ralph from Harmon Solar is here with us. Keon Rose is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar studio in Scottsdale. And we have a shortened show today because the Hall of Fame game starts at 5 p.m. I don't even know who's playing because I just don't care. I just do not give one bit of a damn except for I get an off an hour early.
Wow. Bears and Texans.
Oh, is that who is playing that we don't care about? Wow.
Okay.
I mean, they really excelled at the who's playing that we don't care about, because Caleb Williams is not going to play tonight.
I'll still watch a little bit.
And I don't even care about the Texans because, I mean, I care about them when bad things happen because they're in my division. But outside of that, I don't care about them. But I do care about an hour off early. So that's why I'm in a good mood.
So there's that.
It's the only thing that's keeping me from breaking things, to be honest, because there's nothing more frustrating than a printer that doesn't want to communicate with your Wi-Fi and print. And there's nothing more frustrating than going to the backup printer and finding out that it's out of ink. So I some of my things printed, but some of them I'm going to have to do what people have said for years. Why don't you just use it off your computer? I hate that. I hate looking at the computer, trying to scroll to whatever story I was going to talk about next, because I like to move around. I like to have things. I like to have papers in my hand, you know? And so, you know, that's the only thing that's keeping me from knocking over and having a tantrum. Just the fact that we only have to do this for 2 hours.
I mean, it certainly helps. I can relate to that. I write notes, you know, like I got my little, here's the story, here's kind of where I want to go with it. And
I'm not handwriting the show.
No, I don't think you should. We cover a lot more ground here than I do, but you know, I'm just saying I like to have the thing in my hands is what I'm trying to say.
You handwrite though?
Yeah.
He likes to have the thing in his hands.
Wow.
Did you hear
I got the
I can't read my handwriting, so I don't do that.
Dr.
No,
handwriting.
I have immaculate handwriting because my grandma made sure of that with her ruler, and I would
Wow.
write, and if I wrote something that looked ugly, she would hit my knuckles.
Oh, wow.
So
well, speaking of things that look ugly, Ralph, thanks for joining us.
Wow.
Really cool of you to join in. And,
Thanks, Keon. Good setup.
I didn't mean to.
hey, today is National Girlfriend Day.
even
So,
better.
but if you can't celebrate that, and you shouldn't if you're married, then it's also IPA Day.
I'm not big on the IPAs.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people who are just all into them, and I'm like, you just like tasting random, occasionally, mostly bad things. All right.
Could you quietly celebrate if you're married?
You would have to.
Yeah, or risk physical harm and or
So you shouldn't
financial.
mention it on a radio show.
I wouldn't personally just do what you do, but I would personally.
You
keep that
really
to
can't
myself.
win. Can I just say how you can't win? Here's the thing. After I got married and I would say, hey, I'd call her my girlfriend. She's like, I'm not your girlfriend. I'm your wife. And I would say it to her, like, hey, how's my girlfriend? I'm not your girlfriend. I'm your and now 10 years in, and she's just like, why don't you ever call me your girlfriend anymore?
Oh my gosh.
Because you yelled at me about it the first time around. There goes my girlfriend. Hey, how you doing, girlfriend? She won't even look at me.
It's probably flipping you off.
That's basically what you got. If you have a girlfriend who won't look at you, she's your wife.
Yep.
There was a soccer player, I don't know, forever ago that was like the MVP of this match, and then he thanked his wife and his girlfriend.
Whoops.
And then
Oops.
and then he was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry to my wife."
Oh my God.
He tried to walk it back, and it was too late. The damage was done.
Not clever. Not clever enough.
Oh,
It just came out, just all of it.
See, here's the thing. You get married and you try to treat your wife like a girlfriend. Not like Ralph treats a girlfriend. It's like, I'll meet you around the corner. It's not like that. It's more direct. Like, just treat her like you care and love her and just try to give her some romance as much as you can.
I guess that makes sense.
Ralph, are you writing this down?
People
I'm
try
I'm writing it down right now.
because
Jeffrey says.
like a number of women who've been married for years, wish that their husbands would get back to the level of like intensity of romance when things started.
We're not that young
Mhm.
anymore.
Look,
can't do that.
I don't know. I've never
You
been
get to a
married.
certain age.
Yeah, Keon, it's been 30-something years. I'm done.
You're
All I know is that my wife is listening to this from the other room, and she's sitting there thinking, I wonder what the next guy's going to be like. And I wonder how he'll do things different.
I told my wife, I said, I told you I loved you when I married you. If I change my mind, you'll be the first one to know.
Ralph has crabs, says, I thought Ralph's girlfriend was his left hand.
It's my right.
Oh, are you left-handed?
No.
You do both? Oh, wow. That's yeah.
Utility.
It's utility player.
So, by the way, as I warned you guys yesterday, today is August 1st. So hopefully you have paid your rent. If not, you only have a couple hours to go do it. But listen, here's some things to look forward to in August. It's definitely not the weather. So here's the things you can look forward to. The Olympics are still going till the 11th, if you care about that sort of thing. Little League World Series starts on the 14th. That's always kind of fun to have on the TV in the background. You know, I'm not sitting there watching it intently.
White noise.
But it's kind of cool. Look, I was like, hey, look at that guy. Because usually like one or two kids are like total characters, you know, and they show up. I hit dingers, you know.
It's always the fat kid.
Oh, yeah, it's always the fat kid. That's the power hitter, always.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL preseason, that starts tonight, as we've just told you. Also, the new college football season, that kicks off on the 24th of August.
Ooh.
And for those of you who care about tennis, the U.S. Open starts on the 26th.
So close.
And if you care about this, Adult Swim's new anime version of Rick and Morty, that starts on the 15th. Only Murders in the Building starts on the 27th. And I don't know what this is, but I guess they're doing. I guess it's a Lord of the Rings TV show. Well, that's coming back on August 29th. And as far as the theaters go, I mean, Deadpool came out. There's nothing else to see. I mean, really, there's nothing else to say. They were showing this Alien Romulus preview when we saw the Deadpool. And I'm like, I saw the movie. Saw the movie back in the 80s. It was called Alien. I don't need this again. Don't need this again. And then let's see. This Saturday, we're not going to be on the air for it, but it's National Grab Some Nuts Day. So we make sure you celebrate that however you want to. None of my business. Anyway, so there's August.
We don't judge.
August is here. ASU Buddy says Ralph Left Hand is called The Stranger. You're just not coordinated enough? Or
no, you have to sit on it so it gets numb first, and then it's a stranger. Do it right.
Wait, your penis or
no.
Well,
come on.
Because after that, you
Good
go to
for
the
you, Ralph.
hospital. That's a different.
Congratulations.
That usually doesn't go the way you want it to go.
Probably not.
So, all right, the Olympics, we've had some things happen today. So if you haven't been keeping track, Simone Biles went nuts, and she went ahead and she won a gold. And I guess Suni Lee got a bronze. And so now Simone Biles, can anyone say she's not the best gymnast that has ever walked the earth as far as the Olympics and everything else? Or are you going to say just the best American?
Who would be better than Simone Biles?
Ever? There's other. I mean, you'd have to go back. I mean, I think back to Mary Lou Retton, Nadia Comaneci, some of those names. I mean, they were pretty amazing.
There are things that Simone Biles can do that nobody can do. Literally, there are three moves that she has.
She's amazing. Yeah,
that no one can do those.
No, I'm not arguing. I think she's amazing.
So I think that she's pretty much gotten that locked up.
You could probably say she's the best one of her time. How about that?
I think it's all time. I think we're seeing an all-timer, and gymnasts are the ones that are saying this.
Okay. She broke a 120-year-old record to become the only U.S. gymnast to win 6 Olympic gold medals. I don't know who's won more.
Well,
maybe somebody has.
There's somebody that's won 18. So yeah.
But no, I'm talking about gymnast.
I'm talking about gymnast. There's a gymnast that won 18.
All right, somebody look this up because I don't know what you're talking about. But Simone Biles is just killing it.
I'm not saying 18 golds. I'm saying 18 medals.
They're talking about gold.
Yeah, we're talking about gold.
I'm talking 18 medals, not gold.
So we're at least in the lead in the medal race, 37 medals overall. We're chomping on the heels of China. They got 11 gold. We've got 9 gold. And we've got the most silver of anybody with 15, and we have the most bronze of anybody with 13. So we just got to pass China. And then you can say we truly, surely, absolutely have won these Olympics.
They can go ahead and enjoy that gold medal lead while they still have it. That thing's going.
I feel like a few
when track and field comes around, and we get Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles out there. Good night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going to be
you can
theirs for long.
See you later. And we're not even done with swimming yet. Like we still have the relay that I think the 200-meter relay that I think the Americans are also going to win, and Katie Ledecky's in that one. So I think that one's in the bag, to be honest.
Yeah, Katie Ledecky, is she the best swimmer in Olympic history for the ladies?
As far as female swimmers go, I mean,
that's what I said. The ladies.
Yeah,
She might be.
Why do you got to make it so sterile?
I'm just trying to think about it, man. I just sometimes I rephrase it so I
The
can.
females, the ones with vaginas.
Yeah, the very same.
Wow.
The very same. So
Wow.
You got to put on a doctor's lab coat now if you're gonna talk like that.
That's what the category is called.
You need like that mirror that
Okay,
I got.
just let me.
I'll go put on the jacket if it helps.
But yeah, no, I think by the time these Olympics are done, she might be.
So I was looking something up because Simone Biles, I was always like, Biles, that's an interesting name. And I looked it up, and it turned out it's an English variant of the name Bills. So she's basically the British version of the Bills. Because, Biles, you take away the S, that's something completely different. And I just always thought that's kind of a horrible last name, for such an amazing athlete. She seems like a pretty cool person, but then her last name is Bile with an S.
You don't choose your last name.
No, you can.
It's and I don't think your last name says anything about you.
No, it doesn't. I just said she's a great athlete. She's a cool person.
Says what
her last name, English variant of the name Bills, not of that stuff that comes out of you when you die.
No, it's not Bile.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Biles with an S. Oh, it made me wonder. I actually did look it up.
That's pretty cool, though.
I'd be more upset that it's related to the Bills.
Yeah, that would probably, because then 4 times she goes to the Olympics and not win anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wish she'd missed the balance beam wide left.
Yeah, wide right
or wide right.
Random texter says, make sure you chalk 1 silver up. Okay, does anybody have any chalk?
No.
For some reason, random texter's text has frozen the entire text line. Oh, here we go. Oh, for the men's basketball team? Shut up, random texter. Whose side are you on?
He's concerned. Yes, he should be.
Don't chalk it up.
Shouldn't be.
Well, they're going to win their. If they don't blow out in their next game, something's wrong.
Not really.
I'm not that concerned.
Oh, Puerto Rico's.
They should beat them by 40.
Genuinely horrific.
Yeah, 40 or 50.
Puerto Rico is
They're not working by your metrics, Ralph.
I'm telling you, if they don't beat them by 40 or 50, something's wrong.
I'm not going to sit there. Listen. Just beat them real bad. I don't really. That's a bad.
It's like me saying, if we don't get 3 bags of hate mail every week about Ralph, then something's gone wrong.
But that's like the 15 fanatic putting together a basketball team to go against them. It's not going to happen. I mean,
we do all right.
No, we wouldn't. We really wouldn't.
I'm not like previous morning shows that would guarantee a victory. I'm just kidding.
It's just if you sleepwalk through the game with Puerto Rico and it's a 20-point win instead of a 40. I'm not going to sit here and go, you should have beat them by 40. I would sleepwalk through that game too. I might sleep through that game.
I mean, Serbia just beat them by 43?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, so come on.
But I'm saying if you sleepwalk through the game and it's just like you're half pacing it, all right, and I don't care.
We have already set the bar, Ralph. We've already set the bar at 20. 20 is the bar. Because they could just let's coast through this. Let's make sure we have a comfortable lead, but let's not exert ourselves so much that anybody gets injured.
But that's the Spearmint Rhino bar. We're going to a different bar for this game because it's Puerto Rico.
What do you have against Puerto Rico?
They suck.
That's it. They're
terrible.
They're bad at basketball, and when a team is bad at basketball and you're great at basketball, you should beat them.
You
Badly.
You should thump the living daylights out of them. It doesn't mean you have to.
No, you should.
By the way,
if it's at any point close to 15 near the end of the game, I might have some issues, but I don't think
20 is fine.
But I don't think it means anything. I'm not going to read so deeply into it because they didn't murder Puerto Rico, so they're not going to win gold.
I'm a deep reader, so
I got no problem with Steve Kerr, but I feel like he can't win no matter what he does. He just has to have somebody. It's almost like when you're playing flag football as a child. Everybody gets playing time, and somebody's got to have a chart and make sure everybody gets in. Because Steve Kerr is sitting there on the defense. Well, why didn't Joel Embiid get to play it? He wasn't even there for 1 minute, and he's just like, this time he didn't say, "Oops, I feel stupid." He was just like, we had matchups to deal with, and that's why it was just we put the best matchups that we could think of to work, and he'll be in the next game. It's not a big deal.
Joel Embiid also just looks bad
out
there. He just looks bad.
And then Jason Tatum, they asked him, so, hey, how did it feel to be benched there? He's like, humbling. Shut up, Jason Tatum. Just shut up. It's just one of those things. He forgot you existed. Okay, get over yourself. There's a lot of stars on the team, and he's trying to figure out these things. He's gonna. His spine is gonna start leaking it again at any moment. Steve Kerr is gonna. He's gonna be spraying all over the guy at the scorer's table, and he's probably gonna just drop dead on the court if you guys just don't back the hell off.
I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm not shocked that Jason Tatum said that because everybody on this team has a massive ego. You wouldn't qualify for this team if you didn't.
Not if you listen to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg should never be taken seriously. Well, I can just stop there.
Was there more?
I was going to say, as a reporter, because he was sitting there with Mike Tirico talking about Team USA. He got a chance to hang out with them. He says, I felt a lot of the brotherhood and camaraderie. I felt them ego checking themselves at the door. Sure.
That's not happening. I assure you.
And he was saying, tonight when I watched the game, I saw Joel Embiid not get in the game. I've seen him very enthusiastic and cheering and all this stuff on the sidelines. And he says, you're just supporting. Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do? Sit there and pout like Kyler Murray? I mean, nobody wants to be known for that.
But that's the thing is, like, I don't think that that's a Snoop Dogg's fault for pointing that out or saying that. Like, you get on NBC during the Olympics and your goal is to say absolutely nothing controversial at all. That it's the most sterile production on TV.
My stupid printer suddenly just printed everything that
I hate when printers do
just spat it all out at once.
Nowhere, and I canceled the print like over and over again.
And then a day later, it'll print.
Oh yeah, you're gonna wake up in the morning and there'll just be 60 pages of paper on your floor. Yeah, and it's all gonna say the same thing.
It'll probably sound like a dot matrix printer too, just to piss me off. What the hell happened here? Oh well, I'll sort that out here in a second. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Dylan Cohen real fast. We'll beat the book for some betting advice, see how things went yesterday, see what he's got in store for us over the next couple of days, and all that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks will be in Pittsburgh on Friday to begin a 3-game series with the Pirates. The Diamondbacks coming off a 3-game set with Washington, winning all 3 games, and have now won 7 of their last 8, and they trail the Dodgers by just 5 games in the NL West. Brandon Pfaadt will get the start for Arizona on Friday. He's 5-6 with a 3.92 ERA. Luis Ortiz will go for the Pirates. He's 5-2, a 2.75 ERA. The Diamondbacks are plus 1,600 to win the NL West and are plus 1,700 to win the National League pennant. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-285-3636. 800-285-3636.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means mini camp, OTAs, then pre-season. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Time for Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen. get some betting advice. Take a look at what's going on in the world of the over, the under, the money line, the this and then that. He's with us now. Hey, Dylan, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing good, Jeffrey. How are you?
Doing all right. So we got your bets up on the board there. How did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, it was just one of those days where it really seemed like the analysis was there and the trends were identified. And unfortunately, it was just another disappointing result. Starting with the first pick, which was for Dylan Cease to get at least 8 strikeouts in his game last night against the LA Dodgers. The Padres are red hot. They had the upper hand pretty much the entire game. Cease started the game pretty well. He had 4 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, but then he just kind of tapered off from there. He, would get guys to a 2 strikeout count, and then, there'd be some contact with the ball, whether it be a ground out, a fly ball, a hit, whatever it is. He just could not muster up, another 4 strikeouts, and we missed the mark on that one, unfortunately. And then moving over to the Giants and Athletics game, that was another one where it really seemed like we were going to be able to capitalize on the struggling that Logan Webb has had over the last few games. And this happened to be the game where he kind of got back on course. Ironically, the Athletics pitcher, Ross Stripling, he pitched a pretty good game himself. The Giants ended up winning this one 1-0. So, it was a tight game through and through. The Athletics just were not able to pull it out, so they did not win on the money line, and we unfortunately lost that one too.
All right, so let's shake it off and see what we have in store for today, Dylan.
Yeah, we're going to switch gears here. Baseball's not treating us too well, but luckily we've got another round of pool play coming up for the Olympics men's basketball tournament. That's been the thing that we've had some more success with lately, so wanted to give the Fourth Dimension a couple of good picks to take a look at. These games are going to be happening very early in the morning tomorrow. So the very first matchup is at 2 a.m. That is Japan and Brazil. You do not need to worry about setting your alarm and waking up for that one. Both of those teams are not going to be advancing just based on where their point differentials currently sit. So it doesn't matter who wins that game. Both those teams are out of the tournament. The next game after that is going to be Australia and Greece. That's coming on at 4:30 in the morning. Australia, for the most part, really has things buttoned up. They're going to be a shoo-in at this point to be able to make the quarterfinals, regardless of if they win or lose this game. However, there is a scenario where, depending on if Greece were to win that game, and if they were to win it by a very large margin, then it is possible that Australia could be in some trouble of not advancing. The chances of that happening are extremely unlikely. So this is going to be another matchup where it's going to make a lot of sense to take a look at doing a player performance double, because Greece is going to give it a shot for the first quarter, perhaps the first half, but realistically, they have to win this game by 9 points or more to have a remote chance of advancing to the quarterfinals. So with them coming into this as a underdog, and with the firepower that Australia's got with all the NBA talent that they have, it just does not seem likely at all that Greece is going to win this game, despite having Giannis Antetokounmpo and how well he's played. So you can count on Australia to win that game. When you're looking at what kind of a prop to pair with that for the performance double, what really stuck out to me the most was Dyson Daniels. And as we know, he is in the NBA. He plays for the Atlanta Hawks. He's a pretty capable young player, and Australia really does rely on him to put in a lot of minutes. He's had at least 28 minutes of gameplay in the first 2 pool play games so far. So I think he's a safe bet to continue to score at least 10 points a game or more. He's done it the first 2 games so far. With the position that Australia is in, they need to win this game, but I just don't think it's going to make a lot of sense to try and take a swing on one of their more prominent players like Josh Giddey or Jock Landale. You may very well end up seeing those guys get rested to prepare more for the next round. So that's where a guy like Dyson Daniels, you can rely on him to be in the game and play. So my first pick was a performance double for Dyson Daniels to score 10 points or more, and for Australia to win that game against Greece.
All right. Something that happens every now and then is the books will say, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give everybody their money back. We're going because something happened and they're like, okay, we're canceling these bets. You get your money back, no harm, no foul. And I wonder, shouldn't that have happened with that thing you posted on the Instagram?
Yeah. So, I would have brought this up on the show yesterday. However, I'm still kind of in the process of doing some more research. So I did kind of come around to a conclusion. Yesterday, I had a parlay that involved Drew Holiday getting at least 2 assists or more in that game that Team USA just played against South Sudan. And it was a game where he didn't see as much playing time as he normally did. Tyrese Halliburton played, and he made some shots, so he stayed in the game. Derek White had a great game. So Drew Holiday just didn't get as much exposure as he normally would on the court. So in the final minute of the game, he finally got his first assist. And then in the closing seconds of that game, he throws an inbounds pass to Anthony Edwards, who takes 3 dribbles and then pulled up for a 3 and swished it with no defender on it. So when you look at the FIBA rules and definition of what constitutes as an assist, it really appears just based on the video evidence that this was a missed play essentially by the statisticians that work for FIBA and the Olympics. As far as I know, and as far as the information that's available to the public on what FIBA considers an assist, it looks like they missed the mark there, and they did not count an assist for Drew Holiday. And then when you look at the implications of that on the betting markets, there's people out there that are betting on this stuff that are going to lose or going to win based on whether or not people do the right thing. So unfortunately, with that game being an insignificant pool play game, there's just not as great of a concern to make sure that the stats are getting counted properly. I don't think something like that would happen in a medal game. But unfortunately, it was a situation where it appears that I happened to lose a parlay off of a statistician error and not so much, the player not actually accomplishing what I was betting on him to accomplish. That's just the way it goes sometimes. There's going to be human error in this kind of thing. And believe it or not, this can be a story for another day, but I have actually won a bet before and cashed it in an instance where it shouldn't have cashed and it actually didn't really hit. So these things really do go both ways.
Well, we'll see what happens here in the upcoming days. And I just, I don't know. I feel like they should be consistent with how they refund or don't refund. But what do I know? So you got, let's just recap. You got Dyson Daniels to over 10 points in Australia to win, and RJ Barrett with 20 plus points in Canada to win. Those are your bets for today, right? Or tomorrow, just between now and then.
Those are the two. Didn't get a chance to kind of spotlight RJ there, but we've already done this twice. We've won it twice. He is the go-to scorer for Team Canada. You can count on them to beat Spain tomorrow. So look for RJ to score 20 points and for Canada to get a win. And then if you guys want to visit the Instagram account, it's Beat the Book Fanatic. Go ahead and give it a follow. You'll see the post I made yesterday going over what happened with Drew Holiday and the statisticians missing his last second assist to Anthony Edwards. So hopefully we don't see any more things like that happening, because that's about the worst way you can possibly lose a bet, in my opinion.
So do you say good luck to guys who bet, or because the actors you say break a leg, you don't say good luck. So to guys who bet, you just say good luck, right?
Or just don't point the finger at me after the fact if we don't like the outcome.
Okay, well, I was more just about just saying, hey, good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, there we go.
All right, it's Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen. If you want to see the reasoning and thoughts behind the bets and the way he does things, just go to 1580thefanatic.com, scroll down on the right and click on it, and you've got it all right there in front of you. We'll see you tomorrow, Dylan.
Appreciate it, Jeffrey. Thanks.
888-368-1580. Angry Texan says, Dylan, keep your head up high. And Monkey Puncher says, oh, Dylan, don't sound so dejected. Listen, again, if you follow him on the Instagram, you'll see all the success that he has. He just has had a bad run of luck of stuff he's trying to make easy on everybody else. Let's see here. Hamilton Porter says, afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Hamilton Porter. I would love to read the rest of these texts, but today is a day where all technology has given me a big fat middle finger right to my face, because every one of these texts, when I hit on them, is just doing the thinky wheel. So I have no idea what they said. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to get back to reading texts a little bit later. We'll sort that out. Let's pick it back up and talk about some of this Olympic stuff so we can talk about football. The United States won some gold right now. They win the four. They ran. Okay. United States rowing team won. How's that? I'm kind of distracted. I'm very distracted by the fact that this has got to be everybody in this picture's name is Chad, right? That is the whitest bunch of people I've ever seen in one picture.
3 Chads and a Chaz.
A Chad and a Chaz?
Yeah.
That is the most Caucasian picture I have seen in a long time. But
that's rowing. It is the most Caucasian sport.
Them very frat boyish looking fellows just won the gold in the rowing. So that was nice. And here's their actual names: Nick, Michael, Liam, and Justin.
Are you surprised?
Yeah,
it's nice to see the Liams represented.
Yeah, but they finished just ahead of New Zealand and Britain. So, hey, listen, we got a gold. Well, I'm not going to complain about that. Unfortunately, the other probably even more white sport, sailing, well, that was postponed due to lack of wind.
So
I don't feel like that should be an Olympic.
I agree.
Sport.
I agree.
But I say, hey, if it's scheduled, you get the damn boats out there, and if everybody just moves very slowly, whoever is at the front wins. I mean, that's the challenge of sailing.
Just use motors.
Well, then that just kind of defeats the purpose.
That's even worse. Not really. There's more technique.
There's more technique to using a motor. I doubt that.
Keep that boat straight.
Not motorboating, which was a thing we talked about. Anyway, Hefty Lefty says, again, I should know better. I can't click on it because then it does a thing. So everybody, I'll load these all up during the break, and I'll read your text here in a minute. Let's see here. Oh, Hefty Lefty says they definitely have numbers after their full names. Oh yeah, like Justin the Third, Liam the Second. All right, so we won some golds today, which was nice. Yesterday, every medal we won, it was won by a woman.
Well,
just thought that was interesting.
A lot of gymnastics, and so I guess that tracks.
Women events.
Katie Ledecky and
then the swimming, yeah.
Even the silver in women's BMX. A woman in a canoe, which, by the way, that's interesting because the canoe is also used as a way of describing something, and where you know what I'm saying? Just where the canoe, the aim for where the guy in the canoe sits is what
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't see the relevance to this in particular at all.
It just made me think about it. A woman in a canoe winning a medal, and it's just the mental picture of it.
I guess I'm not there with you. Sorry, man.
No, that's fine. You don't have to be.
Yeah. Not tracking with you on this one.
Yeah, you are. You just don't want to.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
I just don't see how it's relevant, but that's fine.
Just the word canoe. That's all. That was it. That just was all I needed right there. But so anyways, United States is doing well. I wonder if we'll win. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if we will have the most golds than the most medals at the end of this.
I happen to think so.
If you look ahead, and Keon seems very happily smug about it because he's just like doing this kind of thing right here. Because he looks ahead and sees the track and field events. He looks ahead and sees the basketball. He looks ahead and sees. Although the 3-on-3, we have sucked. We are in dead damn last in 3-on-3 men and women's, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, not dead last, but definitely bounced out of.
You ain't first. You're last.
Well,
We're done.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, they're out.
So that was a little concerning, but everything else that is yet to come, God willing, you're absolutely right on that. Probably not women's boxing. I feel like we're not probably going to win that one because there's somebody who's probably going to be dominant through this thing.
Not really, but I'll let you get to it, I guess.
Well, I saw the video.
I saw it too. Wow.
And here's the thing. Again, this is tricky because you don't want to make anybody a villain that isn't a villain. But I guess this comes back to there needs to be some very well thought out and guidelines on how to make these things work. And I don't know how to say her name. Is it Amain Khalif? From Algeria?
It's Khalif.
Yeah. Khalif.
It's Amani Khalif.
Okay. Amani Khalif from Algeria. Has some testosterone going on. And was also disqualified from the 2023 World Championships after she failed a unspecified gender eligibility test. I don't know if that means she's got a dangler. I don't know if that just means that she's got a testosterone disorder, because that's one of the things that some people have alluded to, that it's just a testosterone disorder where her testosterone is higher. I don't know. But all I'm hoping for is that people don't get hateful to this person. But it did, as you look at it, seem really unbalanced out there.
It did, but you're looking at one video, and it's like she was in the last Olympics and lost, did not win anything.
She got disqualified.
Yeah,
but she was in the gold medal round and got disqualified. No, she only lost because she was disqualified for failing the test with the hormone.
Well, no, that was a 2023 World Championship.
Yeah, the championship. Yeah,
the Olympics last time, no outrage. She lost, not tested disqualified. Just lost. This is not an unstoppable juggernaut, and I don't know why it's being described that way. You look at her record; she has 9 losses. This is not is not just an automatic. That's fair. You have high testosterone, therefore you're walking through and dominating. This is not a transgender person. This is somebody from Algeria, where being transgender is a crime. You will go to jail, and you probably won't survive jail.
So this is more likely a gal who has a testosterone imbalance that caused her to develop in such a way. But also, that for what Keon's saying, some women that don't have the testosterone imbalance have beaten her. And, she's not undefeated. So that, that makes me feel better to understand that, because it was a hard thing to watch. That poor girl just get a couple of punches and she's like, okay, I'm out.
And she's not a bad boxer.
She's not a bad boxer, but what she did there was absolutely terrible. The jab was coming. She raised her head and dropped her guard. Women knock each other out too, You if you don't protect, it's the first thing they teach you in boxing.
Don't get defensive. I'm not coming at this in an aggressive way. I looked at this story.
I'm saying,
and now I'm looking at this person, but you're telling me this person has been beaten by other women that don't have testosterone issues. So that means that, that this is, an even playing ground. I'm just saying that video is not a good look, but what I really worry about is,
what I worry about is the people look at one video and not the rest of the career, not the rest of the fights, and say, this is this unfair matchup. And it's been turned into this entire trans thing. Again, this person isn't even that. So if you want to have that conversation, sure, conversation for another day. This is not what that is. This is somebody who was born. The doctor looked at the bits and said, oh, that's a girl.
Okay, so let's be fair.
That's their life.
Let's be fair about it then. So then you have to look at the appearance of a lot of testosterone. And, you can say, all right, forget about the trans issue. Let's look at the levels of testosterone, come up with a guideline that is an appropriate way to do these things that don't punish somebody who has a disorder, but also doesn't, punish the other people who don't have the disorder.
But that's not what's
happening. Of finding the balance and fairness. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what I read, and so again, I saw this today too, and I started reading about it. The IBA president said that based on a DNA test, this person has XY chromosomes. This person is a biological male.
Okay, well, there are sometimes that nature does.
Well, that's the thing is when you say biological. Yeah,
I don't know what's in the shorts. I have no idea. But I want to go there.
Might not be nothing in the
shorts. I have no idea.
The way, yeah, but what they're saying, because this has happened with other athletes too, who have been kicked out of the Olympics, because this happens to people. Is your chromosomes say one thing, but just because that happens doesn't mean that those are the genitals that necessarily form.
That's true.
And you can't. No, people don't think to test your chromosomes usually, because usually those two things go together. And if there are no testicles that have descended, which for as far as people,
like yours,
as far as people see, seem to say that has not happened, then the testosterone being produced is going to be higher, but not like man levels of high. So like it's still not fair to pin that on her as well. It's just unfortunate that it's been turned into this giant outrage thing as opposed to what it should be, which is at the very least a medical anomaly.
This is why we're talking about this in a calm and reasonable way. Looking at this situation, hoping that people don't lash out at Khalif, but everybody's reasonable about how did we get to this moment? What are we doing in these situations for all of it? I mean, there needs to be a very thought out and reasonable way of creating guidelines so that this isn't an issue that we don't even have to talk about.
I think the problem here is the confusion, right? So I think when people read this, they instantly thought about the whole transgender piece of what's going on in the world today. And this is not that, right? And so that's where I think the confusion and the outrage is. And I think even the Italian boxer and the federation was claiming that Amani was transgender, which Amani is not.
Which she never said that. In fact, she
not from Algeria. You're not.
No. I agree.
Hold on. The Italian gal was actually, she didn't say anything like that. In fact, she was actually pretty careful in the words that she used,
pissed.
which I appreciated. Sure, she was upset about it, but she said, "I'm not here to judge or pass judgment.
Right.
If an athlete is this way, whatever way that is,
right.
And in that sense, she says it's not right. She says, but it's not up for me to decide. I do my job as a boxer. I get in the ring. I fight. I did it with my head held high, but with a broken heart for not having finished. So she was just saying, she's like, I don't know what's happening here. It doesn't seem right, but it's not for me to figure out.
Yeah, I
and that's you can either take that as an honest reaction to a situation or sour grapes.
This is a different scenario, right? This is a tough one. This is a really tough one that I don't think anybody really knows how to deal with.
Everybody needs to not be hateful.
Right. They need to lose the hate
either way,
because it's not a transgender. I think that's where that's the confusion.
I'm always just looking for fairness in this stuff.
People are thinking this is a transgender issue, which that's a totally separate issue. I think you're going to see that in weightlifting. I think that's where you're going to have the outrage, but not here.
Which should still not be like.
We can discard. I agree. I disagree with you 100%.
Because the last person that was there finished dead damn last. But all right, sure.
But I disagree with that on that side of it. But as this scenario, I think this poor person, this poor human being, didn't ask to be born this way. This happened. And it's a kind of where do you fit it? I guess they do have levels of testosterone that you're allowed to have to compete in a women's event. And as long as you're under that level, then there's nothing wrong.
Right.
And if she goes over it, then there is something.
But what do you do? Like you have, if you do that, you have punished somebody for being born away.
I know, you're right.
Like that. And like they did it with the track athlete. I forget what country she's from, Caster Semenya. She's not XY, she's XXY. So
wow.
Yeah. That's the thing is people treat biology like it's this cut and dry black and white. There is a range of chromosomal outcomes, and there's a range of testosterone and estrogen to the point where there are some men who are just walking around. You'd never know any differently. Their testosterone is lower than just some women walking around.
Like Ralph's.
It's not so cut and dry that if chromosome XY man, F chromosome XX woman, because there's development of all those things. There's stuff that has to happen. It's like when you're in the womb, when does your body get the testosterone versus when it gets the estrogen determines a whole lot of things. Like it's actually really complicated.
But here's the reality of this scenario and why this is an issue. And I agree with everything you just said, right? There are ranges. I've known it. I've had friends and stuff that were in certain ranges. You can tell, right? Just that's how it was. But the reality is that the extremists and the activists in this and other countries have taken this issue to a different level on the transgender side of it. And it's creating hardships for people like this. And there's a lot more than just this female out there that has this issue that's kind of fine line. And so they've created this big political push with it. And it's made it this big outrageous hatred thing that's going on out there. And it falls into these people's lives, unfortunately, and they have to deal with it. And I think it sucks for them because like you just said, they didn't ask to be born like this. It's not their fault. It's just where they fell. They're kind of tweeners. I guess that's a horrible thing to say, but I guess you could say they're tweeners. right? Because that's how they were born and that's the body they were given for whatever reason.
And
it
nobody's
sucks.
going through this much just to get away with it. Hey, I
Right.
won a gold.
No,
It's
some
like,
people
they're not
are,
trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes or
Some are.
screw over anyone.
I disagree with that.
No,
though.
some
Rob,
are because
I've
they've
yet-
been disqualified.
Just
You'll-
because
you'll
you
have
get
to show me who
disqualified
it is.
doesn't mean you were attempting to pull the wool over the eyes.
The IBA president from last year said that there were athletes in certain countries that were trying to pull the wool over their eyes and claim that they were women and they
Why?
weren't.
Why would anybody go
That's-
through
that's
that?
fact-
But the thing is, you still have to, like, if you're going to be, for instance, a transgender athlete, like there's still the IOC's terms are like you have to be on hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, they have
for-
rules around.
for 2 years. Like it can't just be like you,
Understood.
you identify last week and then you show up and,
Right.
and compete because that's
Totally agree.
that's obviously going to be unfair.
Yeah, they put rules around it, but there are people that have tried to buck the system. It's facts. It's happened. Last year it happened. So that's just reality, guys. But I feel sorry for this boxer because it's not her
Yeah.
fault.
Because that she's going to be vilified.
So she hits
And
harder. I get it.
So all I'm saying is we need to get a guideline for the basics,
Yeah.
and then there needs to be consideration for the outliers, for the things where you're like, okay, what? That doesn't. We're not. This is new for us.
It is.
We just got to be able to figure what it is out to make sure that it's still fair for someone who's playing as a woman or for somebody who's playing as a guy. I mean, just make sure that we have this sorted out so that people don't have to hear about it all
What
the
you need-
time.
what
And
you
we
need-
then just go back and look and say, wow, that Italian gal, she just gave up after she got punched in the face once. That's
Twice.
what the story would have been. Well, that was quick. What? I wonder why she gave up so fast. And not about, Khalif's a dude. That's not where we should be with this.
Hey man, I've known some tough women. I played hockey against some tough women.
I mean,
they were bad. I mean, they would kick my butt.
I can't remember her name right now, but there was the number one boxer in the world is a woman that just walks through everybody.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She's a machine. Like
Yeah,
it's
she's
just it's like, and so there's just
Look at that American on the rugby team. I wouldn't want to mess with her.
yeah.
I wouldn't mess with
Alana Mara.
any of those
Yeah.
girls on
She'd
any
light-
of those
she would
teams.
light all of us up.
Man, I watched this video of the New Zealand gal that we were talking about the other day. She picked up somebody and was running with them and the ball. I'm like,
Practically
oh my god,
baptized them on the field, just right into the turf. It was
that was astounding.
brutal.
this is a tough one. This is a ton of a tough one. Kind of
Well, again, you understand where somebody's like, oh, that poor girl just got completely destroyed, and seems like that might be a dude, and everybody's like, it's unfair. They're getting there and there,
Right.
and everybody, it's an understandable response, but you have to go deeper on what is really happening before your eyes, and how did we get there? That's what I'm saying. Some very specific guidelines on how to deal with these things. We wouldn't even have to have this conversation.
But that's just tough to get to. You're going to have to take the far right and the far left completely out of the conversation.
Oh, you mean
and have
trust the
reason-
science? Oh, good
No,
luck with
you're
that.
going to have reasonable people in the center of this world figure this out because the extremes will never figure
Well,
it
it's
out.
clearly
They have
not
their
you.
agenda.
It'd have to be me.
No, definitely not you. It's not you.
Well,
it's
definitely
it's
not
not
you.
me. But we need to find
All
somebody.
right,
in
let
the center.
Keon do it.
No,
it's
Senator-
definitely
Senator
not me.
Larson.
I'm lefterer.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Nobody on
Keon
this
is-
show is figuring this out.
No, I should be the one because
No.
Ralph is this side of Genghis Khan.
I am not.
Keon is he admittedly himself on the left. I'm just a guy in the middle. So
You're really not.
let me sort this out.
You keep saying that, but you're just not
You both think that I'm not.
because you don't talk that. way.
Keon has said, well, you sound pretty right wing.
Yeah,
and
you
you've said, oh, you sound pretty left wing. That's how I know I'm right.
No, that you're
Because I'm meaning
I
I'm
just
in the
I just
middle.
happen to think that the middle of everything isn't just the right stance because it's the middle. Sometimes you just
No,
I
but
said it was
middle-
the right stance,
middle
but
creates
I am a little
conversation.
more measured in my
The-
thinking than a lefty or a
the
righty.
difference is in the middle you can have a conversation. On the far left or right, you cannot. It's my way or no way. Either both sides. In the middle, you can at least talk about it and bring up points that make sense for both and find out what the right way to do it.
Yeah, I just kind of want us to get more careful about how we talk about these things. Like just some of the stuff gets to be, like Ralph said, just so hateful. You can't talk about it in any reasonable kind of way,
Right.
Because then you end up vilifying people, and it
That's
just stinks.
I've never
really,
been
when
more happy that the text line is hung up a little bit.
Wow, this is
I'm
good
not reading
conversation.
texts because it's not letting me at the moment. I'm going to refresh and send an email, try to get this. And I really am sorry I'm not able to read your text. But part of me is like,
but you know
what's probably better.
The good thing is right now there's conversation.
Do you think the fourth dimension is going to be reasonable about this?
No.
I agree.
So let me ask you just a question here, which is probably a bad idea. But so if you establish a guideline of levels of testosterone, or there's certain things that you would establish a guideline. But like you said, if somebody suddenly, through no fault of their own, a little later in life, suddenly that testosterone goes nuts on them. How do you solve that problem, or is it even a problem at that point because their development has already occurred? You see what I'm saying?
Yes. And I genuinely do not know. And also, when you start limiting those guidelines, are there other caps that you're going to put on people? Michael Phelps has they've shown it, bigger lungs than everybody and also massive feet. That's going to obviously help you in swimming, the sport he did and dominated at a high level for many years. Are you going to start checking the ranges of that, or people who fall outside of averages? Like what?
Yeah,
where are you drawing lines?
I think you need to leave it at a point where you're trying to establish, okay, is this somebody who should be on the men's team or the women's team? Now, his flippers, maybe he should be on the porpoise team. I don't know. But as far as it goes for the testosterone levels or other factors, because I've always said if there's a lot of testosterone in a person when they're developing, and then suddenly they don't have it anymore, or they decide to go a different direction, so they're taking drugs to change things, they already had the benefit of the testosterone
and
in
that's
their
why
development.
that's why the IOC has the 2-year rule, because of all the research that shows that after 2 years, like a lot of those benefits, they're just not there.
But part of the problem with that is, as a human, by the time you've reached that certain age, you're developed. So, for instance, I'll go this way because the text line's not working, so I'll go there. Leah Thomas, as a man, whatever the name was as a man, if you look at the structure that person had, I mean, 6'3", 6'4", with an 8-foot wingspan. That's a man. That's a huge man. And that was an advantage for that person in the pool against women, biological women. That to me was absolutely and 100% unfair. You can't compete with that person. And I understand he won she won the NCAA national championship. I mean, how do you compete against that as a woman if you've been training your whole life and now you have to go up against a biological male that's fully developed as a male? I don't care if he's done 2 years of testosterone. He's 6-something with an 8-foot wingspan. In swimming, that's an unfair advantage.
First off,
kind of agree.
First off, women can be that tall. Like
cisgendered women. It's not the tall, it's the width.
These things can happen, right? Like, so that's how you have the players of the WNBA. Like, what the hell is Brittany Griner? You know what I mean? Like, it's
a great question.
Like she was born a woman. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what she is. But like, so when you look at that, like, and the thing is, like, won that national championship. But but people stopped paying attention after that, right? Like, the outrage machine fired up, started looking at Leah Thomas. Look at the events after that. The numbers got worse and worse and worse, to the point where you're like, maybe they let her over too early.
Yeah, maybe do a 3-year thing instead of 2.
But the domination was not happening after a while. It just wasn't.
But the domination
then that would say, then maybe extend
so like
it.
Again, so maybe you extend the window of that. You know what I mean? Like that maybe it's not long enough because the NCAA doesn't have the 2-year rule. I think it's 1. But like so maybe that was what happened there. I don't know, but it's not just you get to be developed at that point. Like, swimming still requires your muscles. It still requires a lot of other mechanical issues of being a person that is not just you are tall and broad, which again, like, there are like you see, like, I forget, like the 7'4" Chinese basketball player that's out there now.
The woman?
She's like 17 years old.
She's huge.
She's like, oh my God. Like that is still a range that women can fall in. It's rarer, but so are trans people. They're less than 1% of the population.
Agreed. They're less than 1% of the and I agree with most of what you just said. I'm trying to think if I disagree with anything. I don't think I do. But when I go back to Leah Thomas, I mean, I still feel that there's a lot of things in that scenario that went down that this country just wasn't ready to deal with. And a lot of it was dealt with very poorly.
And
because
right?
a lot of the people in this country are dumb as hell.
Well, and not even that. I mean, really, this is
No, that's
like
a
you
lot
said,
of
this
our
is a 1%. This is a 1%er thing. 99% of the people don't know how to deal with this. Right.
Yeah.
And then the organizations like the NCAA really don't know how to deal with this. And so they put mandates and things on other athletes and forced them into certain situations that they should have never done. So they did a bad job of trying to make this happen. And we're not going to get anywhere with this until we all figure out what's the right way to handle it. We're not there. We're not even close to being there yet.
Yeah.
That's just
I just think, and I think we've said it, and I just want to repeat it, just get the hate out of some of these conversations. Otherwise, you're never going to wind up having the productivity that you need
on both sides is all I'm going to say.
I'm serious. I am glad I can't read these texts because I am sure there's going to be some in there that I would like not want to read. But to have even this conversation, two things immediately happen. Keon gets defensive, and the text line starts to say some of the most evil crap you will ever see. I'm not saying you're wrong to. I'm just saying where I am I want to have a healthy, good
hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one.
You want to throw us to?
We'll be back after this.
$189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The Arizona primary election is coming up on July 30th, 2024. Are you voting by mail? Here are some reminders. Mail your ballot back 7 to 10 days before Election Day. Otherwise, return your early ballot to any secure election drop box or voting location by 7 p.m. on Election Day. Sign up today to receive email or text updates on your ballot status. Learn more at arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
Lab-grown diamonds might be new to retail, but not to Desert Wholesale Diamond. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor of Desert Wholesale Diamond. And even though I'm a fourth-generation natural diamond importer, I was the first to import these gorgeous, eco-friendly, low-carbon footprint, conflict-free, real and genuine diamonds to the West Coast. And unlike everyone who's recently gotten on the lab-grown bandwagon, we work with the largest growers in the world to bring you the best possible diamonds at the lowest possible price. We know what to import and what to reject. And because we're importing direct, working in our low overhead wholesale offices and making our own rings, bracelets, and earrings in our own facility, we can offer better pricing than anyone. So work with the leader, not the followers, and let us find you the perfect cultivated diamond for less, a lot less.
Call 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow Dave on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and a good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Don't ask him about his testosterone because he says it's none of your damn business. Got Ralph here from Harmon Solar. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So the text line is still doing goofy things on me, but I can read the first 5 words of your text. We can guess what the rest is.
It's slow.
Is it?
But I did open one text.
Yeah, well, it takes too long for me to do it this way. So Fish Tank says, who would have thought that the convo would? Mr. Wilbur says, let's ask Moist One how he make. Average Joe says, no comment. Fifth Letter says, I used to like getting beat up by. Chief Skull says, we cannot go through life with. CK says, Keon is bone density, muscles. Aiton's Army says, FanDuel is offering a line for. Walter Mellon says, hey, does this boxer have a sister?
Wow.
Monkey Puncher says, didn't realize Keon is so anti-women. What?
What?
What are you talking about, Monkey Puncher? Moist One says, not even turned into a trans thing. Okay, I don't know what that means. Hefty Lefty says, the countries that are currently. Case the Cook says, the U.S. rowing team is so pasty. Oh, he's right.
That could be a good one.
Oh, I wanted to hear the rest of that one. And Rico Suave says, happy Throwback Thursday.
Which that was that entire text. That's the one text. That's the one text you could read the whole thing of. Yeah.
So what we're trying to say is you probably are not getting to get your text read today. I'm going to have to find out what in the hell is going wrong here. When I was getting ready for the show, fighting with the printer, I look over and I see women's United States team playing the basketball against the ladies of Belgium. And Belgium kind of scared Team USA a little bit. Mm-hmm. They were within a few points there. I think close to the fourth quarter, like midway through the third, where it actually stopped me and got my attention. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I thought the women of the United States were supposed to just barrel through everybody and anybody. What happened, Keon?
That is usually what occurs. I haven't been able to catch the game. I caught some of the highlights of that fourth quarter, though. And I just think again, this is not just a men's basketball thing. The women's side of the game is also growing and catching up and getting deeper. And 3-point shooting has changed how basketball works. That you don't have to be the biggest, fastest, strongest. If you can shoot threes,
if only Ralph would listen,
you can stay in games.
This is the same thing we were talking about with the United States, Ralph, with the men. What Keon's explaining right now is very similar to what's going on with the women. And, so it's not the end of the world just because the United States beat them by 13, right, Keon?
It's not. No. You still
have teaming up on you, Ralph.
You still have Asia Wilson. She's the best player on the planet. And that's why Team USA won. Diana Taurasi and Asia Wilson. That's pretty much how that's going to go.
Yeah. So a little bit of a whoa, that was close, but then all is well. All is well as the ladies, try to get that gold. Booze and Raider says, I just want my 5 words repeat. Lost Toby says, Ralph has 47 chromosomes. See, Lost Toby's figured out the assignment. You get 5 words.
Got to be very efficient.
Oh, they have to be creative. That's interesting.
Yes. Big George says, no comment. Can I send 5-word texts? You probably can't. I've never seen a brief text from Big George. So, yeah, hey, remember when there was a thing called the Pac-12?
Once upon a time.
And then everybody left the Pac-12 for various destinations. Like ASU and Arizona went to it was the Big 10 or Big 12? Big 10?
Big 12.
Oh, Big 12. All right. Where did Stanford go? They went to the
ACC.
The ACC. That's right. And because of that, the ACC looked over and they're like, "Hey, Katie Ledecky, she just won a crap ton of medals. Let's say congratulations, because now Stanford's part of the ACC."
Jeez.
They're like, "Hey, good for you!" And we were like, "Stolen valor! How dare you?"
That's not your conference history.
That goes to the Pac-2. All right. You keep her name out your mouth, ACC, until next season. Because right now, even then, she'll always be a Pac-12 gal. The things people get upset about are so dumb.
I mean, I guess, but the conference still can't tweet that as ACC history. She never was in the ACC,
right?
Her personally. So
her school is now,
but she never was, and it actually happened a long time ago with Nebraska when they moved, I think, to the Big Ten, and Ndamukong Suh was there when Nebraska was, I think, part of the Big 12, and they tried to put that as Big Ten history. It was not. It was rejected. It was rejected.
So stolen valor is probably too big a term for what this was, because stolen valor is when somebody goes to the Army surplus and buys a uniform and walks around telling people, "Oh, I served," trying to get free dinners or people, whatever. And there's people who do it. It's a real thing, stolen valor. It's a wrong thing. You should never do that about somebody who actually, served and gave, their all and possibly sometimes their lives, for this country. That's stolen valor. This is just kind of sad. I don't think you could put as harsh a term on what the ACC's social media people did.
Yeah, I don't think people meant that seriously. It was a joke.
It's lame.
It is lame, but I don't think people meant stolen valor and they put it on the same level as actually doing it. I think that's just one of those
you act like you've never been on Twitter.
I have. That's how I know. I've
read the text about the tweets about this.
I know people are taking it seriously, but I've also seen people turn the term stolen valor into a joke on the very same Twitter that we're talking about.
They're losing their minds over there. Chief Skull has a 5-word text. Ralph's Lakers suck, 5 words or less. To be fair, that's like 1 word. He just made it all 1 word. That was pretty
Yeah,
smart.
how about that?
5th letter says, fight on, just win, baby. Moist one says, let's go, Davis Mills. Woohoo. Big George says, so space it out? No, because I only see one at a time. I don't get to see all the rest of them. Yeah.
And Big George wastes 3 words going, well, and only have 2 words left to go.
You might just get 1 text an hour at this rate. Stupid program. So Gordon Hayward retired today. 14 seasons, and I guess it's going to be up to somebody else to step up and be the pretty good playing, goofy-looking white guy. Every team's got a good, goofy-looking white guy. And
Gordon Hayward wasn't that, though. He just
he's
never
goofy-looking.
When I mean,
and a white guy,
sure, but he was a really good basketball player too.
No, he said he was good.
But it's just that he went to Boston. He signed a big deal, went to Boston, and on day 1 as a Boston Celtic had the worst ankle injury I've ever seen. Don't look it up; it'll be in your nightmares forever. And he just wasn't the same player coming back.
Right,
from
that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that he was wearing them green tights. If it hadn't been for the green tights,
I really don't think that's what caused his ankle to do that.
I didn't say that. Let me finish. If it hadn't been for the green tights, it would have been even more gruesome to see. The green tights made it kind of like, oh, okay, something just turned the wrong way. If he didn't have the green tights on, dear God, you'd have vomited immediately watching that thing.
That and the Kevin Ware injury are the 2 worst things that I've seen on a basketball court injury-wise. I didn't see that one, fortunately. So
trust me, it was bad.
Yeah, I heard about it. That was enough. That was enough.
Silver Pop says, glad you're still on air. Average Joe says, so can we just write one really long Guess it doesn't work like that. Moist one says, broken leg will haunt forever. Big George says, I blame Jeff Bloom for this. Fish Tank says, man in the boat. I almost like this better.
It's rid of a lot of the BS.
Yeah, makes it a lot easier on me. All right. Oh, hey, if you have a working phone or computer, I don't know what's going on anyway. You go to the Twitters, go and look up Radio Pal 1580, and I found something that I really love, and I'm actually going to start following. Better than pickleball for sure, but I have a link. It's probably just like right at the top after the posting of this show. Snail Racing Championships. The 2024 Snail Racing Championships happened in England. and it is riveting stuff. They put them in the middle of a table with a ring around the outer edge, and the snail that makes it to that ring first wins. And guess what? This year's champion was a snail named Jeff. Clocked in with a impressive time of 4 minutes and 5 seconds, which is super fast if you're a snail.
Just blazing by snail
How long was the
standards.
track?
Well, about like this. I'm not kidding. It was about like that. About that big.
It's about a foot.
Yeah. About a foot and a half, maybe. I don't know. I didn't
4
measure
minutes.
it.
4 minutes.
But I'm sure that I fast forwarded just to the end because I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. And so they probably talked about, the rules and procedures and stuff like that. So go check it out at Radio Pal 1580. I did enjoy it. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I did fast forward, so that probably helps my enjoyment.
You absolutely have to. I mean, you're going to sit there and watch a snail move for 4 minutes.
I intended to go back and watch the whole thing later.
Well, good for you.
I probably won't. But I had intentions to do so. We don't do our social media plugs nearly enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're so bad at social media on this show. Ralph's pretty good at the social media. Keon, you're not that good either. I'm going to be honest. None of us are very good.
I just hate it.
Yeah.
I just I was on Twitter today.
I just don't have time.
It's like, oh, look, this is a complete bleep show. Why did I come on here?
Mm-hmm.
And then
well, that's because you're going on with the fourth dimension.
It's
That's why it's
but
a
the thing
bleep
is,
show.
Twitter recommends other things that it thinks it might be interested in, and Twitter is wrong very often.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get some of the ads that just are worse now. Yeah, it's not great.
Well, we're going to have to embrace it. We're going to have to get better at it.
Yeah,
we're going to compete in this modern day.
Yeah, you have to look at ours at W Warriors Show. It's a really good.
It's a horrible address.
But we got a post we put up today from a guy that we have in California who went to Rams camp and interviewed a Rams fan. It was kind of interesting.
You?
It wasn't. I'm not in LA right now, so no. But
you're a Rams fan.
No, I'm not. And it was just kind of cool to watch. So.
Ooh, Average Joe put it. This is pretty smart. People who can't text are now tweeting me. It's like the Jim Rome show. Average Joe says, make it more interesting by adding a salt ring that moves from the inner circle outward.
Oh, come on.
Snail games.
That would be fun.
That's not bad.
That's
Seems cruel, but not bad.
A little.
Or the snails that don't win, they get their shell taken off. They're like, you've been evicted and now you're a slug. Get out of here.
Pretty sure they're attached to that thing.
I don't think it kills them, does it?
It might.
I think it does.
I don't know though.
You think salt?
And I'll never.
Salt will kill them.
I'll never Google it. Yeah, salt will absolutely kill a snail.
But people would watch that.
Monkey Puncher says Daily Blender needs Twitter Pro. Okay. Hefty Lefty says the Katie Ledecky of snail racing. Jeff. Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Lap the field.
Chief Skull says less than 6 words post. Lost Toby says, what if I don't use spacing? No, it doesn't work that way. You get 5 words all together or separate. That's about as much as you're going to get. And don't make them long words. I mean, most of the people in the fourth dimension aren't really using long words. Don't think that's a problem?
Yeah, not a big word group.
But speaking of social media, Colorado is doing something in their practice. And I guess they did this last year. During these little training camp practices, instead of their names on their jerseys, they have their social media addresses as they're running around out there. So you're like at Shedeur Sanders, stuff like that. Why? I kind of hate that deep down inside.
Why would you do that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, why would I hate that?
No, why would you do that?
I don't know.
I don't understand that, Keon.
I mean, you're asking me like I understand the workings of what anything in Colorado is makes sense of. Like I can't make sense of it. It is
what they say.
Right.
All right.
This is an effort to give the guys an opportunity to build their brand. And I think it's an outstanding job by Deion Sanders to think outside the box and offer that unique perspective and that vehicle. So it's out there is for the guys. And they're able to get that identity, says Sean Lewis, Colorado offensive coordinator.
I mean,
garbage.
It makes sense in that you could sell it to the kids that way, but that's dumb. You build your brand by being good at football.
Right.
Like Caleb Williams has a brand and he had that brand because he was good at football. Bijan Robinson had a brand, and he has that brand because he was good at football. If you're not good at football, there is no brand. No one is looking at the social media of a left tackle. He might be great at football, but that's the position value that we place on these things. The social media is not going to help. But yeah, I suppose you can turn around. It's a way that you can lie to the kids without really lying to them. Like you can tell them this is going to help them build their brand, but it's not doing that.
Maybe Deion needs to worry about winning more games.
He's got to worry about his toes. You don't have a whole lot of those left.
That's true. But I think in terms of helping him win more games, I could see how, again, lying to the kids without lying to the kids helps you recruit them.
I'm a big fan of lying to kids.
Which might help you win some football games. But you're lying.
But you're creating a bunch of individuals is what you're doing. How about you create a team?
But that's what that team already is. Like even without
But that's the problem.
No, I agree. I like Travis Hunter. They had the NCAA game and he was playing, and then he was playing as Shadur Sanders in Colorado, and Shadur gets sacked in the game, and he was like, wow, they got this right, just like in real life too. That's a horrible locker room. That has to be the worst locker room in college sports. I can't imagine. The coach shows up and says to about everybody on the team, look, go ahead and get in the transfer portal right now. I'm bringing my own guys. Then he brings in a bunch of guys. They talk a bunch of all the big talk. They lose a bunch of football games. And then they show up the next year and they seem to be even more individualistic. And you're doing this. He is creating somehow the worst locker room any of us has ever seen. Maybe not just in football, perhaps in sports. I don't know if I've ever seen an idea that's going to divide a group of people that need to come together as one unit more.
Good job.
100% agree with you.
McMama has an idea. She says, please play Finish the Text. Ooh, I can do that. All right, let's do that with this one. Chief Skull says, this is Twitter's little brother that I murdered back in 1978. How's that, McMama?
Oh.
Angry Texan says, talk baseball now as I try on these nice dresses.
Wow.
Angry Texan.
Lost Toby says, Jeff is going to train snails. And he murdered my brother in 1978.
How did that go on?
1978 doesn't seem like a great year, to be honest.
I was too young to actually murder anyone, so don't even think about trying to. And the statute of limitations, I think. No, there isn't one for murder. Damn it. Is this working now? Let's see if this is working here. Nope, not working. Hefty Lefty says, what a controversy in snail race. I would love to know what Hefty said there. Beer Bob says, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That actually all got in. I can actually see it over here on the list.
Wow. Incredible.
Well done. Moist One says, maybe the White Sox locker room is worse.
Their team is worse. I don't know that locker room is worse than the one that Deion is currently creating.
Ralph Has Crabs says, Ralph is a Rams fan too? Yep.
No.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Monkey Puncher says, 5 characters? I love Dylan Cohen. I didn't say characters. I said words. And somehow those are your 5. All right.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Hurry Harry, you're just saying that randomly. It has nothing to do with anything. Hurry Harry says he came out vaginally.
Wow.
Hefty Lefty says, I'll tweet you my stuff. All right. See, that's Fourth Dimension knows how to bob and weave, but we have to take a break. When we come back, I don't know. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune in to You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So the text line has gone goofy, and I can only read 5 words out of every text. So, sorry. Hurry Harry says, go Seahawks. Kentucky Queen says,
That's a good text.
hi, I went to the river today, and, okay. And then Lost Toby says, this is kind of like old Twitter with 40 characters.
I remember that.
And Oily Stool says, I just got some bad news. Looks.
No,
Oily Stool, you will be missed. 888-368-1580. So football is happening, sort of. You know, let's be honest.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame game.
It's still 2 NFL teams on the field. Kind of.
No, mostly. I mean, you're going to have some of those people
on the field
aren't going to be NFL players by the end of training camp, but
Right.
they are right now.
Yeah.
If you are that desperate for some football and don't mind it being worse than the UFL, then yes, you should watch the Hall of Fame game.
What I do every Hall of Fame game is I watch the first couple of series and then I'm done.
Most people do that, I think.
Yeah.
much it,
It's
yeah.
just like, yeah, it's back. I get to see it. It's good that it's there.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game's just not worth watching.
What channel is that on?
No, I don't know.
Oh, here, I got it right here. It's on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Plus. So they're putting it on everything. I
Please
guess
watch. That's what they're trying to tell you.
What's amazing is there's a betting line. Are you what? Just come on.
You'd have to be an idiot to bet on this.
Call 1-800 next
Just
step. You have a
don't.
gambling addiction. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and he was like, "So what are you thinking about betting this game?" And I was like, "I'm not." Are you high? Stop.
This is a hugely bad idea.
If I make any bets today, it's going to probably be baseball. Just what is happening?
So 5 o'clock is when the Hall of Fame game will start to air here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hashtag blessed. And we're going to step aside for Westwood 1. You know what this is? It's preseason for them too. You know, it's for the broadcast. Get out there, and I don't know if Rich Eisen's going to be on this one or not. I don't know if Kurt Warner is showing up to break down the game. They may not. Kevin Harlan might be there. I don't know. Whatever the case, this is like preseason for them too. So that's cool. I'm good with that. But as far as it goes, as far as quality of game,
no.
Temper your expectations. That's all I'm going to say.
You're not going to see very many starters for Houston, if any, and you'll see exactly 0 for Chicago.
Got some bad news. This might be one of Ralph's many teams. I'm not sure. But Justin Herbert, he's not going to be on the field for a little bit because he's got a plantar fascia injury, a little plantar fasciitis. He's got a foot owie. Is that what that means?
It's the tendon in the bottom of your foot. It's torn, and there is no way to make that better except to wait.
That lingers for a long time.
It's like if you
that's going to be a factor.
If you get the surgery, you're done for the year. So most guys don't get the surgery.
It's worse when you hear it's his planting foot.
Oh boy,
with the plantar.
His season's done.
He is right-handed, right? Because that means his right foot is the planting foot.
Yep. No, that is worse. That is actually worse. Because it's because Peyton Manning that last season he had that. That's why he missed so much time, and Brock Osweiler wound up playing football, which should not have happened. But the reason why that had to happen is because he was dealing with that, and you have to just wait for it to heal enough for you to use it again.
Yep.
There's no way to make that healing process faster.
Yep.
It's one of the worst football injuries.
For 2 weeks. They say he'll be back in week 1. Yeah, we'll see about that.
No, he won't.
But hey, don't worry. Hey, Charger fans, thank God for Easton Stick.
Jeez.
Hey, don't worry about that because you also have Max Dugan and Casey Bauman.
I mean, Easton Stick is like backup quality guy. I mean, he's going to be okay. You don't want to see Easton Stick play more than 2 or 3 games, but
I think you usually stop the sentence with "You don't want to see Easton Stick play." Just
you're going to have Herbert playing, but he's never going to be 100%.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough season for him. That's bad. That's just a crappy injury,
a nagging, painful thing that he's going to have to go through, and it will affect him.
I wonder if you could shoot it up with cortisone or something just to take the pain away.
I'm pretty sure they will, but even then, he's still going to feel it. It's not going. It maybe won't hurt as much, but you're still going to feel it. Your foot's still not going to feel right.
Yeah, that's just
the whole time.
That's
it's the worst football injury, I think,
for a quarterback especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame it was in his left foot. But hey, did you guys see that video of Brandon Ayuk going up to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan? Did you see that? There's this video where he's got like a hoodie on, right? So he's in street clothes, and he walks out there and he daps him up. That's what the kids say, shaking hands and giving little hugs. And so people are like, oh, that's great. That means that everything is good and all is forgiven, and they're gonna do the contract. Everything's great. Then other people are saying, oh, that is so bad because he's saying goodbye. Like, hey, thanks, no hard feelings. Adios, muchachos. Smell you later. I'll be honest, I watched the video like 3 times. It looks more like a goodbye than anything else to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, I don't know either.
I don't know how you can tell that from just that.
Because, I've seen people say goodbye, and I've seen if he had made an agreement, I feel like he'd been standing there longer talking a little more. Instead of just, all right, good to meet you. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. Boom. It was very brief, and then he was out. Just saying.
I
feel like it was a goodbye.
I think there's a real good chance he leaves. I think he's still bitter about the draft pick, too. I think that pissed him off.
Could have also been, hey, thanks a lot. I'll be back here tomorrow. See you guys later.
Yeah, it could be anything.
I don't know.
Like it's not like good. How can you tell that that's a goodbye forever? You can't.
Well, you can't, but it kind of seemed like the quicker the interaction, the more likely it was, hey man, thanks. We tried. We'll see you next time. Bye. You stay longer if everything's good.
I mean, he's not negotiating with Shanahan, and
that's
John
another
Lynch,
good thing.
Your agent is going to be present when you're actually negotiating. So,
I didn't say that conversation was a handshake. That was a goodbye.
But that's what I'm saying is just like if it's a goodbye, then they would. Why require him to be at camp? Like I don't know how anyone can know that. It might be, but
Steelers thinking he's going to the Steelers then.
Commanders.
I have no idea. I don't think the Commanders because he doesn't fit the timeline. It's just
what's your quarterback though?
He does, but that's it. Like that team wants to be able to compete, and like that means competing down the line. You're going to have to fill out that roster. It still has a whole lot of of holes in it.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out and trade for a guy, so you have to give up assets to get him, and then you have to still dedicate the cap space on the back end to pay him. Where the Commanders are is they just got finished blowing up their entire team. That's not the time to go out and try and trade for a wide receiver that you're going to have to pay a lot of money. And then what? The offensive line needs to still be improved. The defense still needs to be improved. They've got no edge rushers. Like, there's just that seems unwise.
But he's best friends with your quarterback, so.
Yeah, but the GM seems like he's actually good this time. So
I guess we'll see.
That's not and if Dan Snyder were here, Brandon Ayuk would already be a Washington Commander.
Well, if you saw the video, did you see the video, Cam?
I did not see the video.
Okay, well then, Ralph, you saw the video.
I did see it.
Which way do you lean on that interaction? As a goodbye or as a glad we worked this out?
You really can't tell. I mean, if I want to lean, I guess I can't even lean. I don't know. You really can't tell. It just, I didn't think twice about it when I watched it. I really didn't.
The other part is, though, for me, I Irish goodbye a lot. So,
What's an Irish goodbye?
You don't know what that is?
No. It has to be something drunk, right? And he's gone.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video. How can you tell?
He's gone.
He didn't even. Jeffrey walked off.
He did an Irish goodbye.
Okay, gotcha. Well, you know what? That's
there you go.
An
now
Irish
you know.
goodbye.
But Ayuk didn't even walk off the field. He didn't leave.
Well, no. He goes over and he shakes with Shanahan and he steps there for a little bit, and then he shakes with the other guy. I think it's the other way. Lynch first, then Shanahan, and then he does leave. He does leave after that.
The video that I saw, he's still standing there on the field.
Is everything still moving? No,
yeah,
okay.
there are people still moving, but he's just watching the practice over here.
Well, see, now that lends itself more to him staying.
Does it?
Yeah,
I think it lends itself to
it
he was in practice, but he wasn't participating. Hey guys, how's it going? All right, you have to go off and you're evaluating because you're the GM, you're the coach, you have to coach, and I'm a player who's not participating in practice.
So, like, if you ever have me at a party and like all of a sudden I'm not there, don't take it personally. That's just what I do.
Just leave like that.
It's either that or I have to make the rounds. Like, hey, I'm leaving. I'll see you later.
I kind of like that.
Oof, I hate that.
I like how you just walked away. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the best. I wish you'd do it more. Chief Skull says, can't rip on Ralph in less than 5 words. It's a good point.
It's good.
You tried.
T-Licious says, no thanks for this football game.
You're welcome.
Moist One says, got Davis Mill under 89.5 yards. Please tell me you didn't actually bet on this.
Because all it takes is like one screen pass and a missed tackle, and then you've lost money on a game that means absolutely nothing.
Yep.
CK says, just left Castle Megastore and
yeah, wow.
Dr. Roadmap says, what did the snail say when it and that's and then Big George says, Jeffrey's right, Thank you.
He did say that.
He did.
You should never say that.
So Brock Purdy has been throwing some interceptions in camp, and people are like, "Oh, he's throwing interceptions." And even Purdy stepped up and says, "Everybody, calm down. Listen, I threw 3 yesterday. I threw 4 today." He's like, "This is the time to take the chances. This is the time to sort of test yourself and see what you can do. Don't worry. It's a fine line. You want to go out, you want to be efficient, you want to go through the reads, but this is the time for us to test, experiment, see, can I fit it in this window or on this hitch? Can I look off Fred Warner or, something like that? He's just like, you got to try things out. So yeah, listen, Brock Purdy, you can trust with that because what did he throw? Like 4 interceptions total last year? I think it was
very little.
Yeah. It was a lot more in camp than in reality. So everybody can just calm down about Brock Purdy. He's not losing it.
Last year was 11 interceptions, but the 31 touchdowns is.
But look who's missing from camp.
Oh, that's
Brandon Ayuk.
I'm telling you, he's a different quarterback when Ayuk is not on the field.
I agree. The eye test shows it. The numbers show it.
He's mortal. He's like very average when Ayuk is not on the field.
But also that being said, he does take care of the football. Like that's even without Ayuk last year, it's not like he started throwing interceptions.
No, he just didn't move the ball at all.
Yeah. So with this, it's like, okay, you're working on some things.
If I'm the Niners, I would give this guy whatever he wanted, because without him, I think you're in trouble.
The problem is you can give Ayuk whatever he wants, but when it's time to pay the left tackle, the guy that's going to protect Brock Purdy, when it's time to pay Purdy, yeah.
Let me just remind everybody, I can only read 5 words of your texts. Okay. I just want to remind you that some people maybe are coming in not realizing this, but Niner Annapolis said good riddance to Brandon Ayuk.
That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. If you're
like Deebo Samuel got injured last year, and Brandon Ayuk was the guy that stepped up. Yeah. I don't know that Ricky Pearsall is that automatically. And I'm a little lower on Ricky Pearsall than a lot of people too. So
yeah,
I think he's small.
Yeah, this is very confusing. Niner Annapolis said, good riddance, Ayuk, not necessary. He's different without Deebo.
He was better statistically without Deebo.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Ayuk was, unless he's saying Purdy was.
Yeah, I think he's saying Purdy was
different without Deebo. Yeah, you're going to be different without any of these weapons.
But you lose either one of those guys.
But you start talking about Ayuk doesn't matter like that. What do you mean? That's your vertical threat.
He's a big deal.
After Lefty says Broncos ask, what's moving the ball?
That's true. They haven't seen it in a few years.
Vermont Dog says, listening to the show outside and it's hot, yo. Well, yeah. I mean, get inside as soon as you can. I don't know why you're surprised. It's August.
Freaking Arizona. Do you live on the sun?
It's 104 degrees or whatever today.
Niner Annapolis says Purdy. Purdy different.
Okay. You can't afford to lose either one of them. How's that?
Well, you just lost Jonah Jackson, Ralph.
Who's Jonah Jackson?
Well, he's on your team.
Is that Michael Jackson's brother? Or?
No, on the Rams. Jonah Jackson.
It's not my team.
Yeah,
I don't know who Jonah Jackson is.
Dude, I got pictures of you wearing a Rams jersey. Don't act like you're not a Rams
pictures of you wearing a dress. What's the point?
Well, and? Don't be jealous. I look good. Jonah Jackson is going to be out for a while with a bruised scapula.
I hate when that happens.
Do you know what a scapula is?
Yeah, it's back here.
It's the flat part of the shoulder blade area.
I'm a pitching guy, so yeah, scapula is very important when you're pitching. But yes, that's a very painful injury.
He's got a bruised spatula. He'll be back maybe by week 1. So just figured you'd want to know since you're a Rams fan.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up DeAndre Hopkins yet.
What's wrong with him?
He hurt his knee. He's out at least 4 to 6 weeks. Minimum.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Just got hurt today.
Oh, yeah. That one must have happened just recently because I didn't see that at all.
It was today.
That's not great.
I mean, that kills the Titans.
I mean, that's great for you, Jeffrey.
I don't want to be happy that somebody got injured. I mean, I'm not sad that the Titans are without a player. I like.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you should cheer and celebrate. Just it's not the worst news you ever heard.
It's not,
Again, don't celebrate it. This is there's only one guy.
Here's something we can celebrate. Okay, I'm not gonna celebrate DeAndre Hopkins being out 4 to 6. Thank God it's only knee strain. Okay, so he'll be back. But I am going to celebrate Dante Foreman from the Browns. All I'm going to say is when I saw a Browns jersey getting loaded up into a helicopter to be taken to the hospital, I was like, wrong guy.
Oh my gosh!
I was like really hoping that'd be Deshaun Murray.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson. But Deontay Foreman, it was just a scare. He's okay. He's actually going to be back in camp tomorrow. But that was scary. They got a hit to the head, and whatever happened, he was put in a cart. Then they put him in an ambulance. Then they stuck him in a helicopter, and they took him to the hospital. And they're saying, he's fine. He's going to be okay.
And you were thinking it was the wrong guy.
Really hoping for Deshaun Watson.
You realize Deshaun Watson's having a great camp.
That's not what I heard.
I heard he looks really good.
And see, I've read other stuff where he's just disintegrating out there.
He's not throwing picks. He looks decent.
You're right. Everybody is awesome in camp.
Not everybody. There's a lot of guys struggling.
I mean, there's Drake May in New England like that.
Well, come on.
And he's going up against the second stringers.
You can't use him as an example. Hey, Tariq Cohen retired today. I was a little surprised at that. He tried to make it a go of coming back, but it didn't work out. But here is some coach speak if you have ever wanted to hear it. Somebody says, "Hey, Sean Payton, how's old Bo Nix doing?" Now, Sean Payton, his head is just like, I should have never come out of retirement. He's like, I should go back to Fox right now. But here's what he said. I like his progress.
Any more than that?
Nope, that's it.
Wow. The people around Denver, the Broncos training camp, have said he's looked really good. And Sean Payton, Sean Payton has said he's looked really good as well.
I don't.
They're pretty excited about him. That's all I've been reading.
There's stuff to be excited about with Bo Nix, but for me, when I looked at what he did in college and what that team needs him to do, they don't fit. He fits what Sean Payton would like to do.
Yes, Sean Payton loves him.
But I don't know that what the NFL requires, which specifically is pushing the ball down the field. It's not there.
He's a West Coast guy.
Like Hefty said, what's this pushing the ball down the field?
It's just slant passes and screens. That's a lot of the Oregon film.
Screens and maybe 20 yards down max.
And he wasn't doing that a whole lot at Oregon. I mean, he had the lowest depth of target.
Yeah, he did.
All right, listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, I'll try to read some more of your 5-word texts. And we got on this date in big Georgia sports history. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. For a job you'll love, visit progressive.com/careers. Simone Biles reclaims gold in the gymnastics individual all-around. Just a remarkable comeback after she pulled out of the final in Tokyo to focus on her mental health.
All in all, I'm super proud of my performance tonight and the fight that I've had for the last 3 years, mentally and physically, just to get back competing on a world stage. Olympic Games is an amazing experience, so I couldn't be prouder.
Defending champ Suni Lee takes bronze. Katie Ledecky is now the most decorated American woman in Olympic history with 13 medals. She gets silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay. And the U.S. wins its first ever team fencing gold medal in women's foil. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
At Lowe's, save big every day. Right now, get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of Metabo HPT nails. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store lowes.com/credit for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hi, I'm State School Superintendent Tom Horn. Arizona has a shortage of teachers and a need to improve students' proficiency in reading and math. We need to increase teachers' income, which they deserve, and to increase students' proficiency, which is my highest priority. I'm therefore providing $40 million for free one-on-one tutoring for all students, first grade through high school, regardless of proficiency level. Learn more today at azed.gov.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
1580 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
1580 The Fanatic. So the show is over in 15 minutes when Westwood One takes over and gives us the Hall of Fame game. Hooray! Hey, there's one thing I'm happy about. Freeney's getting in. Dwight Freeney,
Yeah.
right? That's
Dwight
good for
Freeney
the Colts,
and
good for the
potentially
Cardinals.
the greatest spin move that an edge rusher's
Yeah.
ever had.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, I did do a spin move when I did the Irish goodbye earlier. There was a little Dwight Freeney action in there as a tribute. So congratulations to him on that. Congratulations to us for getting an hour off, and then looking forward to more of that this NFL season. But the text line's been having issues. So all I can do is read the first 5 words of any text. So let me rattle off some of these real fast, and we got some other things to talk about here. Nondescript says, here are my 5 words. Thank you. Mr. Wilbur says, bite me, Jeffrey and Ralph. Big George says, Ralph, much respect. I appreciate. Lost Toby says, lifeguards at Olympics are stupid. No, it is a good point. Everyone there can swim.
So the thing is, if someone has a seizure, though, if someone has a heart attack,
10 other people who can go get you out of the
who
water.
are not looking because they're racing.
No, I mean, there's other people standing around.
Yeah, but the person, so you need a lifeguard, though. You don't just want a random trying to go in there.
Just give me an EMT with some paddles, and then we'll just fish this poor bastard out for you. You know, you don't need to jump in there, pal. Well, we'll get him out for you. I think we got this.
The EMT needs to be dry to use the paddles.
That's why they shouldn't jump in the water.
That's what the lifeguard is for.
But I thought the lifeguard is the same. I thought the lifeguard is
the lifeguard just gets you out in case you can't swim for some reason.
They just look so bored.
Yeah, usually nothing happens, but you do need someone there in case something happens.
Dropping the soap says, hey now, brown cow. Oily Stool says, what is that rejoining song?
Day That Never Comes by Metallica.
There you go. I was going to say, sometimes I just slap those in there with some word that I made up. And then I forget later what it was. I was like, oh, guess I have no idea what that is. Kentucky Queen says, Titans suck anyway, so it won't.
Wow. I'm guessing won't affect them much.
Hefty Lefty says, delicious steak under the scapula. No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Jeffrey Dahmer. Moist One says, thought Ralph was catching Guy.
What?
I don't know.
What the heck does that mean?
Sideshow Bob says, good take, Keon, but they don't. Rough Rob says, glasses, Jeffrey, glasses. I'm wearing my glasses. Well, I don't know what you're saying.
What of them?
Monkey Puncher says 49er fans are the most unappreciated. And that's it. Canadian Mountain didn't learn. I think he's trying to text in something about Ralph's wife. That's a mistake. He says Ralph's wife is so hot. You've never seen his wife, so you just shut your face.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but he should be punched in the face for talking about somebody's wife.
No, he can say she's hot. I'm good with that. She's hot.
All right. Ralph's wife, you can talk about. You don't say a damn word about my wife. She is hot, but you just
eyes on your own homework.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes on your own homework.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep your pencil in your pencil case, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. Kiss the Cook says the U.S. rowing team is so pasty. True.
That is a fact.
Hamilton Porter says 15 minutes till football is back. Wrong. Now it's 10 minutes. Dropping the Soap says rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Oh.
Rico Suave says, hey, Monkey Puncher.
Uh-oh. You hooked him up.
We can't start this right now.
You did it.
Well, we
can't start a romance when I can't read the entirety of people's text.
It's probably better with a 5-word romance.
That's true. Wait, because the
less chance of him blowing it.
Unless he's sending five pictures at a time. That'd be bad.
Yeah, don't send any pictures. I can't see
because those can't load either. So all we'd get is the file name, which
could be bad enough.
That's true, but that's about as bad as any 5 words you could send. So.
Yeah, trying to. My printer just you ever did the thing when you start to run out of ink and then the printer just like prints every other word. It's almost like trying to read the text line here with these things, these pages. Oh, no, we talked about that. Got excited there for a second. So remember we were talking about this is one reason to watch the Hall of Fame game. There is one good to see how they handled that kickoff. I have been curious about the new kickoff rules, how they're going to handle things, how they're going to do things. Hopefully, see, one of two things can happen tonight. One, you actually get to see it in action, and then, oh, this is how it's going to happen. Or they're going to keep it close to the vest, and you're not going to really get to see how they handle these things.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we're going to see it because they need to know how it works.
Have you read it?
Yeah, we've read it.
I've read it 3 times and I still don't get it.
Have you
very confusing.
Seen it's basically the UFL kickoff.
Kind of.
So yeah, they've tweaked it a little bit. So but it's more or less.
It's confusing though.
It is. And whenever you look at an NFL rule, it looks like a bunch of lawyers wrote it. So you have to read it 20 times before it even starts to make sense.
Are they using the cameras tonight too, or no?
They are.
They should.
I believe they are using the cameras.
I mean, well, it's the Hall of Fame game, and isn't that?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
field,
no.
So they probably won't.
It's not in anybody's stadium. So
right.
That's a good point.
Commando Duke says, "Oh, little town of Bethlehem." Monkey Puncher says, "Rico Suave, hi." What are your faves?
What are your faves?
Hefty Lefty says, new texture name, Huge Rooster. No. Against the Spread says, Tucson City motto is GTFO. You expect they could actually spell an acronym?
It's maybe your motto if you're from outside of Tucson.
Mr. Wilbur says, this new text system it's not a new system. It's the old one broken at the moment.
I kind of like it better.
Hamilton Porter says, I saw betting lines for the game. Yeah, we saw them too. No. Can't believe they exist.
Well, they exist because Vegas is like, hey, if you're dumb enough to bet this, we'll take your money. We have no problem doing that. My advice is don't be dumb enough to bet it.
Yeah. Yep. Rough Rob says, go Diamondbacks, go Diamondbacks, go. But that's not what he said. He's going to be angry. T-Licious says, go Niners, Monkey Puncher. Everybody's hitting on Monkey Puncher now.
Though I think with Monkey Puncher was saying something critical about Niners fans.
Oh, that was a while ago.
That's not a, yeah.
All right, here's one thing I was able to print. Let's do this. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Thank you. Back to the year 1923, Boston Red Sox owner Harry Frazee sold the team to a syndicate headed by J.A. Robert Quinn, the St. Louis Browns business manager. The Broadway producer would always be remembered and cursed in New England for selling Babe Ruth to the dreaded New York Yankees in 1920. Back to me, Jeffrey. Yeah. Stupid Yankees. Stupid. Stupid.
The curse got broken, so.
I don't care about the curse. I just hate the Yankees. I honestly don't care if they win, lose, the Red Sox.
It doesn't matter if we're talking about Yankees of the present, future, past.
No, I don't care about the Red Sox except for when they're beating the Yankees. I don't care about anybody except for the Diamondbacks, unless they're beating the Yankees. One of the best moments of my life was when the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in a World Series.
Where'd the hate come from?
Just hate the Yankees.
No particular reason?
No.
Okay.
No, just over the years dealing with the Yankee fans and then just watching them and seeing how they do things. Everything about them was annoying. And I just started.
Yankee fans
they've been pretty quiet for about 20 years, though.
Yes. Ever since the Diamondbacks beat them in the World Series, it's been hard, but I still hate them.
It's just
with the heat of 1,000 suns.
If you think Celtic fans and Laker fans, when it comes to bringing up all the championships, are bad, Yankee fans may put everybody to shame. We got Ralph 27 World Series, It's like you weren't even alive for, 66% of them. Yeah, like just stop.
Yankee fans are so bad, they make Ralph seem like somebody you might invite to something. That's how bad Yankee fans are.
That bad. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, my family used to live in New York, man, and it's they never stop talking about the Yankees. You listen to New York sports radio, they talk about the Yankees all year round. It doesn't matter. You're talking about the Yankees.
Shut your mouth, Hefty Lefty. He says they won in 2009. No one need to hear that.
2009 was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
It's not 20 years ago, but it's,
it's not 20 years ago, but
I forgot about that.
2009, I was 19. I'm 34.
Are they worse than Cowboy fans?
So they're suffering. Are they worse than Cowboy fans?
Because Cowboy fans are still living in the mid 90s. I'm just curious.
Yes, I would say
Wow.
yes. I would say yes. It's close, but yes. Granted, they're usually the same person. Usually, if you run into a Yankee fan and they're not in New York, also a Cowboy fan.
Oily Stool says, I have to say, I also do not like the. Okay. Again,
Sad to
5
hear
words. I get 5 words. Now I got to send an email to some people and
You
yell.
start a sentence with "I'd like to say." You're already off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So just say it.
Too much in the setup. Get right to the meat of it. Hefty Lefty says, only good team they have. I think he means 2009. I don't know what he means. I don't know. I think. I apologize to absolutely nobody. It's a free show. You don't pay for this. We'll see about getting this fixed. But I'm excited because I get to go now. The rest of you, take a listen. I mean, or don't. I don't know. We have podcasts of the Blender. If you want. Whatever happens, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Have a good night. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Getting quality employees to fill positions